into that. Let's get into that.
How
One
old is
moment.
that video?
I
Oh, it's
haven't done
six.
the. Here we
Are you
go.
gonna do your intro?
It's time to do the intro. So here we go. All right, here we go. Guys, come on! I'm trying to start my show. Guys, no, come on, stop! All right, that's it. I'm starting the show.
Damn it.
Ugh. This show is not for kids. This show is about chaos and talking over coffee. So let's get going. Call me the DarkTranny. All right, good morning and happy Wednesday, or as some people call it, Hump Day, on November 2nd, 2022. We're still alive, we're still kicking, we're still salty. Savages, good morning. Let me read on down the list over here. And I've got control of the cursor. Good morning, Cali Girl and Zero
Morning.
Die Lizard. Hey, Pitbull Doorbell, Super Trucker. We've got Frog Springs. Good morning. Let's see, Feisty Ace being feisty. We've got Youngberg over there. We've got, let's see, we've got some shoes. They look like Doc Stroke. And I don't know what you guys are doing down there, but it's messing up my flow. Oh! Anyway, here we go. Trying to get more people here. Let's see. Oh gosh, you guys are so talkative. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Ow.
I know, I'm working on it.
Oh
I'm
my
trying to go down
God,
the list.
Jazz.
I'm trying to go down the list. Oh, all right.
Let me
And I
entertain
think
you.
an American Dreams is here, and
on a Wednesday.
on a Wednesday. And
Hump
let's see,
day.
who else is here? Who else? Am I missing anyone?
Yogurt.
Hold on, one moment. Toadload.
Ree.
Good morning, Toadload. Giving some big old props to Kekistan. And now let me move on over to the Jitsi. Everyone, put your clothes on.
Don't forget
I'm
about
coming
that
in the
one
room.
crazy kid.
We have in the Jitsi today, we have Youngeth Bergio, these corneas. All right, we've got Maine.
Burglow.
We've got Kid Seville. We've got Pitbull Doorbell. I believe this is Cali Girl right here. What can I see? And we've got the Gray Man. Welcome and hello. Good morning. This morning during the pre-show, I was playing podcast of the Lotus Eaters. So if you find them on Odysee, that would be fabulous, because podcast of the Lotus Eaters tends to talk about our country from across the pond, in whatever the fuck they live in now, whether it's Brexit or the UK, I don't know, but they've got their own shit going on. Tonight, I would like to announce that Axe Truth and I are doing a Q&A session, right? It's about half an hour before a Salty Cracker starts. All right? So it's a live Q&A. Where's that music coming from? I like it. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Axe Truth and I will be doing a Q&A over detransitioning. Yes, that's happening again. 1/2 hour before Salty Cracker starts. So if you want to get in your questions and you're a Salty Army fan, but you also want to ask a question, that first half hour is where you want to fit in. All right, let's see. What is going on today? Should we just talk about what we were talking about in the pre-show?
Can we talk about that video?
Which video? Oh,
Raining
it's
Men
Raining
one.
Men?
Yeah.
Let's talk about how we got along back during when that video was shot.
What year was that made? I've never
I
seen
don't
that
know.
video
Let's go
before.
find. I don't want to get like another freaking. Susan's been up my
Oh.
ass. Let me see if I can.
Oh, Susan.
I know.
17
You could just mute the audio.
Or librarian.
Mute the audio
For
and
entertainment.
just play the video.
We're not trying to make any money off any of this crap, so be quiet, Susan. Go back. Go back to where you came from.
Yeah, Susan can just stop it, Susan. You're being kind of a Nazi.
You're being a Susan.
Susan.
Don't be a Susan.
Susan. Okay, it's Raining Men. Let's look. Well, I guess, okay, so it was the Weather Girls. It's Raining Men video. When did it come out? It came out in the 1970s. Let me see. It was released as an album lead in September 10th, 1982.
I don't know how I missed
So
it.
much racism.
So much.
I know,
It was
we were
featured.
racist back then.
So it was a
We were
1980s song featured on VH1. That was a music channel for you. Well, there are no youngins here. Well, are you guys young enough to know that VH1 took the spot over MTV, and then MTV tried to rebrand as MTV2 and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because, what?
Yep. I grew up on VH1.
Okay,
I
so you
was
grew
there
up
the
on
first
VH1.
I'm
MTV.
27. I'm probably the youngest one in here.
Well, here,
Well, just about 27.
let's take a peek-see, because someone did suggest that I just like turn the audio off. I will. Don't want a copyright strike on that because Susan, I'm just
Ah,
archiving right now. Let's look at the racism. Oh shit, okay. There. Let's look at the fucking racism. Yes, America's always been racist. Yes. You know, like, people of different skin colors have never gotten along and made a production. I mean, granted, this is exploitive, but it's also adult. It's like no kids were involved in any of this. Notice the lack of kids? And look at that. So fucking racist. Oh my god, we never got along. No one ever benefited off of cooperating with each other. I mean, granted, this is a very interesting sample I'm giving you, but this pretty much well sums up the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. And, you know, for all these people born after let's see, when would they have had to have been born? People born after 1990, well, no, even in 1997, but they would have had to have been cognizant of what was going on. So I'm gonna say millennials forward, probably, unless they look at our history, of our culture, of our art, of our documents, of our texts, of all the things that we experienced, us older people. Understand, whatever you're being told about, like, we never got along and everything like that is bullshit, because everyone was allowed to have an amount of, what would it be called? Success with anyone else.
freedom to travel wherever they wanted. You could go wherever you wanted. Just you got to be careful at night. That was the only thing. And
Yeah.
because after a certain period of time, it was about decency.
So, just a little
not being out on the
historical.
streets.
that?
What's that?
So decency? What's that?
Decency is racism.
Well,
don't be a
lot of
bigotry.
decency. We had a lot of decency from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. There was somewhat of a
We
thing
had
called
Christian values.
respecting your elders, respecting authority.
That's racist too.
Well, I'm sorry, then I'm a racist. I am a fucking racist,
That
and I'm
sounds like
probably
white.
a misogynist, and I'm
Racists.
probably a homophobe, and I'm probably, which is really funny because I grew up in California, and yeah, no, whatever.
Well, even
We're
I'm
racist.
like,
Big got trees and we produce big got berries.
Big
we
God,
grew up
what?
sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Oh.
So fucking call me whatever you want. Call me the C word. Call me a feminist. Call me a fucking dumbass. Call me a retard. I don't give a shit.
well, not today, Callie. Not
Sticks
today.
Okay, who's first?
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your
Yeah,
words
that
will
video
make me
fired me
cry,
up.
Ziz.
That video fired me up. I loved all the diversity, and it was so funny because the girls weren't all skinny. Some of them were fat, if you didn't notice, and the dudes were all different shades. And I love the color blocking.
And she didn't make it about her size either.
She didn't. They were just having fun. They were just making a fun video. And it was nice. This stuff. Oh, okay, so where do we go with that? Now, that was a good feeling and everything. And I want to point out, even I am classified in medical documentation as having internalized transphobia. So I just want to throw that out there to everyone
Welcome to
else's
the club.
The
labels.
racist tranny is
Cracks me
transphobic.
up.
Welcome to the club.
I am diagnosed with internalized transphobia, and there is an update on the situation. I did have my appointment yesterday with the psychotherapist.
You're scared of yourself.
I apparently I am. But after a very emotional appointment yesterday, the therapist is going to put in the next steps to get me in touch with an endocrinologist who will be, hopefully soon, prescribing me testosterone so I can get back to a full male life. And so this, I don't feel very, very comfortable about detransitioning publicly. I don't feel comfortable about that because when I transitioned, it was private. However, there is a story which I feel needs to be exposed, and so therefore bear with me while I go through this next year of turning back into a dude. And hopefully, by the time that this is done, hopefully all the states will come to their senses and realize this whole trans youth movement is bullshit, as they are discovering in Europe. The DHS in Europe is saying now that trans youth is probably a transient feeling, and most kids grow out of that stage. So let's pray that common sense reaches America broadly and we can stop mutilating children for the sake of virtue signaling. Please, amen on that.
Yes, amen.
All right, so this is like what
My
CNN
body,
wants
my
us to be
choice,
upset about
unless it's a
today.
baby.
What's up?
My body, my choice, unless it's a baby. Yeah.
Oh, let's,
Fucking-
yes, we
their
have to
logic
address.
is like not. Their logic is non-existent.
Apparently, from what I heard, that's not even what's on the top of the Democratic thought process right now. Believe it or not, Democratic voters are concerned about their pocketbooks more than they are about what baby is where.
Yeah,
So-
all the white women are leaving the Democratic Party. They're
So,
tired of it. They're done. That's what I
They're
heard
doing
somewhere. They're done.
they're doing
done.
as Kanye said, they're leaving the plantation.
They're done.
They're all waking up.
They don't want to abort their babies. They don't want to not have food. They don't want to not have gas in their car. They want to, they want to work. They want to do their stuff. They don't want to be stopped from doing things.
well, there are certain things which should be at least questioned, and that was something I was bringing up with my therapist yesterday. I asked my therapist, are you aware that there are currently laws which are being put into place which make it a crime to even question someone's gender identification? And she said, well, yeah, however, those laws involve more or less bathrooms and school sport activities and such. And I like looked at my doctor and I was like, and you don't see a problem with that?
Did your jaw drop?
Well, I don't remember if her jaw dropped. I haven't reviewed the video.
I'm
But,
so tired of these doctors.
But I I understand what
Doctors shouldn't be affirming that for schools.
let's put it this way. I'm red pilling. I believe I may have red pilled this person a little bit, although I understand the function of this person in the facility where they are employed. They are also
Yeah.
told to approach this in a very prescriptive manner. So I know she's not my friend. I know that she's more than likely my enemy. However, she's also a gatekeeper who is going to be the one who pleasantly said, I'm going to go speak to the endocrinologist so you can get back into the identity and the body which you feel most comfortable in. And it was very emotional. I mean, you know what? It'll be for the Q&A.
Well,
But
congratulations.
well, not yet. I mean,
Congratulations.
thank you. And at the same time, I don't have the medication yet. But I will say this.
It's you're one step closer.
When I told her that I identify that now I'm just a eunuch, she read my face and she goes, you look disgusted when you say the word eunuch. And I said, well, considering that all eunuchs were slaves, and now I'm a slave to pharma, big pharma, I said, tell me, how would you feel? To which she said, well, I have polycystic ovarian, so my ovaries need to be removed, so I too am going to be reliant on pharma. I said, that's unfortunate, and at the same time, you had no choice.
What
It's
a
like,
bitch.
well,
She shouldn't have said that to you. She should have shut her fucking mouth. We don't care about her ovarians. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm still going to pray for her that she's
It's not.
okay.
She shouldn't be comparing herself to you, should she?
I don't believe that that is ethically correct, and that's why I'm not saying, and that's why I don't want anyone saying where I get my treatment. I don't want anyone no one, please, by all means, do not spread
Quick,
the truth
everyone dig.
No.
about where I
No,
get
no,
my
no.
treatment, because some of you guys know, so please don't mention where I get my
No.
treatment, because I don't need that liability. And at the
Yeah.
same time, she's human.
If I knew, I wouldn't say a word.
I wouldn't say anything. Confidentiality.
It ain't my shit to be worrying about.
She's human.
Yeah.
She's human. She's going through her own
She's
pain.
human.
She felt like she wanted to share that during our appointment.
Mm.
And just as a human being, I will pray for her because it sucks being someone
Exactly.
who can't
I
produce.
just I just want to say though, that's a building rapport for manipulation factor, so she can get you to do what
I'm
she
aware.
wants you to do.
I'm
Okay,
aware.
as long as you're aware,
I
and we
know.
will pray for her. We'll pray for her that she had to go home last night and think about what she said and how she was kind of narcissistic and
She may have been
hopefully
lying. For all I know, she could have been lying. However,
she,
the thing of it is that if it's true, then that's what she's living through. And if we're in the same boat as far as being dependent on pharmacology for the rest of our lives, it's a bad place to be.
the
Now,
cystic fibrosis though,
not
I
cystic
mean,
fibrosis,
oh,
polycystic
oh.
ovarian. It's ovarian polycystic. I forget what the name of it is.
I think those go away, honestly. I'm sorry. I think I had those when, I don't know, they opened me
Hers,
up and they're like, you have something, something. And I'm like, well, did you remove them? And they're like, no, they'll go away.
well,
It's
she says,
hormonal.
It's just nonchalant. No, they'll go away.
well, she says
Yeah,
that
they,
she's in pain.
Oh, that's reassuring.
yeah, well, because they were opening me up for an ectopic pregnancy. They weren't going in for
Oh,
that. So, yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, just put
I
some
don't
duct,
know. I
duct
don't
tape and
know.
zip ties on it. You'll be all right.
I
Like,
don't
oh,
know.
all right.
all right.
I don't
So,
know. I don't know. But
are
maybe
you?
that was, maybe you just took her. I'm just thinking maybe you took her by surprise by even saying the eunuch thing and that she had never really even thought of that. Maybe.
That may have been. I don't know the inner workings of her mind, but if you guys like
Yeah.
come into the Q&A tonight, if you have any questions before like you're members of the Salty Army, and you want to go watch Salty Cracker, just know we're starting about 1/2 hour before Salty Cracker starts. So come on in. It's a live Q&A. If you want questions answered that you've never asked me in this, or if because remember this is also going to be recorded, and then it's going to be put out to the public. So if you have questions that you want answered, I'll answer your questions as best I can.
Yeah. I'm just going to pray for that hospital. I don't know what it is. I'm going to pray for them, for everybody there, that they give you the right treatment and that they don't, and that God's with you all the step, every step along the way.
All right.
And yeah, that you're covered and they're all covered and it's cleaned. And I
Yes.
guess the word's consecrated, as Pastor Chalalet says, he consecrated his area. And I always do that whenever I go into the hospital and I'm being operated or something. I just put it all in Jesus' hands and pray that no matter who it is and whatever their intentions are, that they're going to do right by me.
I've got a question in here, and yes, when we go into those situations as you're speaking of, Callie, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like it's in Jesus' hands, God hand, and yeah, after that, it's like you just hope you wake up. Um, Renoth
Yes.
is talking about something in chat. He said, "My point is, no one talked about it." Number one, I saw the vote eagle. True. Please do vote on in November. I believe it was November 8th is our day for the midterms. I'll be at the voting area myself.
If
Raynoth, what is Raynoth
you don't
talking
go
about in the
vote, you are
chat?
not American.
My point is, no one talked about what was Raynoth talking about because Raynoth typically has really good topics here. The weird shit has been going on forever, brought the forefront of society,
They
going
were
back through.
discussing crime back in the day, and just it's not really that it's happening more now. It's just so much easier for it to be found out about.
Yep.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about crime today is that there are so many one-sided documentaries out there where, as we were talking about in the pre-show, it's like someone could attack you and then you like defend yourself, and whatever's recorded is the evidence.
Yep.
And that's, I mean, back in the day before all this surveillance and everything like that, it's like you got into a fisticuffs and you settled it. One way or another, you fucking settled it. There was no court involvement because it was like it just fucking got settled. Now, some things did get court involved, but there need to be a very large preponderance of evidence which like the detectives could work off of. But now we've got all this surveillance and it just muddies shit up so much. All right,
Yeah.
let's
And
see.
it
You got to
went
handle
to
your own shit.
fist.
We handled
It
our
went
own
to
shit.
fist first. It wasn't like pull out a gun. It's like, okay, let's fight about it.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Well, and it would have to go through a bunch of steps, usually, unless it was something on this, on the spur of the moment, like if it was if there was an argument or whatever, and it would, you try to work it out through talking about the shit first, and then if you can't talk it out, then it stops when the fists are going to come out, and yeah.
Yeah, that's something we need to get back to. We need to get back to actually having civil conversations. And currently in the mainstream, as we see with the whole Twitter debacle, is that people
Now
are,
it's like, you're racist. No, you're racist.
well,
Smack.
and it's not just that, it's that these people on Twitter, these people who are being
And
promoted on Twitter are like, oh, we need to like escape, we need to get out because now all these like these MAGA people are coming in. It's like you have an opportunity to have the discussion you've been talking that you want to have. It's like, but instead of having the discussion, you want to leave and go back to another echo chamber. You know what? I'm so sorry that you do not have the balls to have a conversation, a civil conversation, and for us to hash out our differences so we can come to a peaceable agreement. Because I'll tell you what, you guys on the left, my husband is one of you, and I'm one of these people, okay? In this community, in this conservative community, I'm one of them. My husband's one of you. My husband and I love each other. We've been together over 15 years. We always
Hey, what do
seem.
you mean these people?
I mean these people. I mean exactly what I just said. And I love this community of these people. All right?
well, it's like that tribal app you
Ultra
were talking about
mega.
yesterday, and people just like I see those as they're just seeking validation. They don't want to contend, they don't want to argue, they don't want to be questioned. They just want to be validated so they can get their little what is it dopamine hit and move along.
Yeah, well, those dopamine hits when you realize that all that validation was bullshit and that people were. I just want to. Okay, now here I'm gonna answer this one that no one asked. But yesterday it came to be. My therapist asked me. It's like, well, didn't the trans experience make you feel empowered? And I was like, empowered how? I was like, now that I'm finding out the people who gender affirmed me were actually forced into affirming me because society said that that was the right thing to do and that none of this affirmation was genuine. I was like, what? So I got to go into women's bathrooms and locker rooms? Is that supposed to empower me? Is like, what? So I got to like wear makeup and no one could say shit to me because if they said anything to me, they'd be called a bigot or a transphobe or, and I hear a lot of background noise. Wow. Um, I mean, how in the fuck am I supposed to feel empowered when my supposed empowerment came at the expense of another person's what do you call it, suppression or oppression or whatever it is when you stifle someone else from speaking their core values? I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to feel good about my lived experience at the expense of other people's freedoms? I was like, fuck. That's nuts. And that's where I started like busting out crying because it's the realization that all of it was bullshit. This whole fucking experiment, this whole fucking experience, this trans everything is bullshit. And I'm tired of it, as you guys know. I'm tired of it, so I'm moving on. I'm trying to get back to the man I'm supposed to be without parts, with extra parts, and with wider hips. And hopefully someday I'll be full blown male aspected. And unfortunately, the whole thing means that Cassandra has to die, so now I've got to say goodbye to yet another part of me. And if you guys can wrap your heads around about like what a mind fuck that must be, then congratulations, you've just had the trans experience. All right, so
Yeah, that's
RSV,
hard.
yeah,
That's really
respiratory.
hard. I hope her notes were good on that. Are you going to request the notes from the meeting?
I document everything. Okay, so
Good.
respiratory syncytial virus. Now, RSV is a seasonal illness which affects mainly children. Okay, it also affects like immune compromised people. It gives a person a cough. It's like it's the autumn cough. Okay, now Pfizer says it will seek FDA approval this year for a vaccine to prevent RSV. The virus typically causes get this, mild cold-like symptoms, but it can cause serious illness, particularly in older adults and infants. Now, the infants should be getting their immune functions from their mothers, okay? In a best case scenario,
And naturally.
and naturally. Best case scenario, they're getting their immune systems bolstered by their mother's milk, by allowing the child to be exposed to, you know, soils and things like that. And, you know, you take care of these symptoms as they come up. Now, Pfizer's vaccine candidate is administered to pregnant women who then make antibodies and can protect the baby after birth. Oh, shit. All right,
That's
so
an RNA, isn't it?
I don't know. Let's find out. In the trial, the vaccine appeared to be about 80% effective at preventing severe RSV disease in infants during the first 3 months of life. If approved, Pfizer's shot will be the first against RSV and the first new product related to the infection in over 2 decades. Okay, so we had a previous treatment for this. It probably wasn't given in vivo. It was probably given post birth, probably around 6 months in the series, but I've never heard of RSV for infants, not a shot. So I'm not certain what they're talking about. This 20 years ago thing, I don't even know if it was in a human study. It might have been for things like, I don't know, veterinarian use? Maybe? I'd have to do a deeper dive. All right, so worldwide, RSV causes about 33 million infections in children under the age of 5 and hospitalizes 3.6 million annually. Do we need a vaccine for it? And has it been tested? We'll look into this in another episode. So, for anyone taking notes, maybe tomorrow we
No,
can look into the
we
RSV
don't.
and the history of
I
that.
get chronic bronchitis.
Well, let's do
And
more of a talk on that one tomorrow.
okay.
Let's see. I don't know much about like what's going on in the Ukraine right now. Now at this point, let's switch gears over to the Ukraine. Anyone have sauce on like what's currently going on in the Ukraine?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so none of
They
us know
quit
for
talking
certain.
about it.
So aside
All
from
I
the,
heard about was something about some missiles.
all
That
right,
was about it.
All I know is they send some billions of dollars over there, and we need money here.
that we
Yeah,
do.
they're laundering money, and yeah, that's pretty much the sum of it.
I did hear we have boots on the ground in Ukraine,
I
Okay.
heard we're running out of diesel
but
here. I don't know why we weren't built in a diesel plant here with that billions of dollars.
Okay, so these are the things you guys are hearing. Now let's find out what CNN wants us to think. Okay? Here we go. This is what CNN wants us to think. Ukraine's Air Force said it has no effective defense. Ukraine's Air Force said it has no effective defense against the types of ballistic missiles that Iran is preparing to ship to Russia to use in its war in Ukraine. Western officials say Iran is working to send approximately 1,000 additional weapons, including short range ballistic missiles and more attack drones, which could give the Kremlin a substantial boost on the battlefield. This expected shipment would mark a significant increase in Iranian support for Russia's war effort. In recent weeks, Iranian drones have been used to target critical energy infrastructure in Ukraine. While the precise timing of when the new shipment will arrive in Russia is unclear, now, interesting. Officials believe the weapons will be delivered before the end of the year. So, if I was reading this correctly, it's like, okay, so Iran is preparing to ship to Russia these missiles. Now, let's see. What did we leave anything in Iran? Let's see. Abandoned munitions, Iran. Let's see. September 12th, 2022. Iran's precision guided munitions project. Let's see. What happened? Now, I'm not in Jitsi right now, so you guys can't see this. But negotiations in Vienna are proceeding in fits and starts to revive an even shorter and weaker version of the 2015 nuclear deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. The last deal raised significant alarm around the region as a cash windfall of billions of dollars resulting from sanctions really flowed downstream to Tehran's terrorist proxies, including the Lebanese Hezbollah. This new agreement is estimated to provide Iran with as much as $275 billion in the first year sanctions relief and as much as $1 trillion by the start of 2030. just before most of the restrictions in Tehran's nuclear program expire. Conspiracy me this. Where's Vienna? Let's look it up. Where is Vienna? Vienna.
They're in a little bitty can.
Why, look. They're part of the
Isn't it by
United
Austria or something?
Nations.
I don't know.
Vienna lies in the northeast corner of Austria. They're also
That's
part
what I
of
thought.
they're part of the United Nations. And what have we forgotten about? Because, well, maybe we haven't forgotten, but I will tell you this. It hasn't been mentioned very much in the news as of late. Do you guys remember when the talks were about the UN and bringing the Ukraine into the UN?
Yeah.
Why would a
Did
UN
they stop?
wh-
I mean, aren't they still trying?
why? Well, the question for me is this, guys, let me know if I'm making any sense here. Why would the UN be funneling money into a country which is currently at war with a country which the UN is saying that they want to bring into their fold? I'm just asking
Because
questions.
all wars about money laundering, and you're correct.
I
But
just
Turkey will not allow it. Turkey's a founder of the UN, so
yeah.
or NATO, one or the
Endless
other.
wars in Eurasia.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too, and it makes me very curious when one follows the money around and realizes it goes right back to the very people who are saying that they're doing this for our good. That when you follow the money, you find out that they're bullshitting you. And then let's consider just for a moment, and you can dismiss this thought because I'm not here to plant an idea. I'm not here to indoctrinate, and I don't need anyone to subscribe to my line of thinking. In fact, I welcome debate on the topic. Ukraine, compared to the rest of the world's population, by size, by capital, everyone's, everyone, well, it seems like everyone, seems like they've taken a lot of handouts from a lot of different nations and maybe billions from us, but they've also taken from the EU and they've taken from other countries that are not in the EU. How much fucking help does this little territory of the Ukraine, when you compare it to the rest of the masses out there, why are these people trying to defend Ukraine so much? Could it be
It
because
has to do with people owning property out there, maybe.
Yeah, it's historical, something. They got stuff hidden out there. It's got to be the same with Iran, too, because you're not getting in or out of that country unless they want you to.
well,
Well, let's not
And
forget we
I've
just
heard,
installed the Ukrainian regime in 2014.
are you talking about Zelensky?
I was gonna say, didn't the paperwork didn't get filed
Yeah.
correctly, so it's technically not a country?
Well, it was once a part of Russia, and then it was annexed after the Soviet Union
I
collapsed.
know.
Pardon, go on, sorry. Maybe I
And if the
misunderstood what you were
paperwork
saying.
was, I've heard that there was paperwork to make it Ukraine the country that wasn't filed correctly. And if that's the case, it's still Russia.
That would be something to look into. I don't know. I don't know the situation on that. But if that was true, then I could totally see why Russia would want some of their land back. Oh my lord. Okay, so that is what might or may not be going, and who knows? We'd have to, definitely. We need people to tell the truth. Politicians need to just tell us the fucking truth. And I mean, it's more than apparent at this point. It's like when you have a dancing, mincing queen in charge. I mean, somebody who used to play his piano with his dick for in front of like studio audiences and stuff like that. It's like you have an actor, you have a performer, and this is just more performance, along with Justin Trudeau, who is totally a performer, a queen amongst queens. That man cannot stop prancing around and changing outfits. And then you've got Macron, another queen. And then you've got, like, the queen of the United States over there. I mean, who knows what the fuck Biden gets up to, but we see what he surrounds himself, and they say birds of a feather flock together. So when you look at that amount of, like, moral decay. And what happened with Bolsonaro last night? Did Bolsonaro actually, like, light off? I didn't hear anyone talking about Brazil this morning. So I'm assuming either it's blackout on Brazil or Bolsonaro got, like, fucking yeeted or something like that. Because I'm pretty sure last night, with all the hullabaloo in Brazil, there was supposed to be a lashback against Lula. I haven't heard anything. Let me look
The
here.
military's in control right now, from what I understand.
Well, let's go and take a
As
peek
for a
here.
recount that's supposed to be finished this morning. Or
Let's go and
today.
take a peek.
I have no idea what you just said, but Ukraine, going back to Ukraine, it's the second largest European city with 41 million people.
41 million people.
Yes.
And they
In
need...
Ukraine?
That's what Wiki said. Second largest European country.
Well, it's the second largest European
And we
country.
sent over $1 trillion over there.
And somehow they don't have a GDP that they can fall back on. They need everyone else to, like, fucking... Oh my god, it's like a welfare country then. Because it's like... If they are the second largest, and they're it's not like they're not without import export ability. It's not like they don't have resources. It's not like they don't have business deals and trading. I mean, for Pete's sake, it's like we've watched politicians in recent history run several business deals through the Ukraine. It's not like there's some impoverished nation.
I mean, don't they make hot girls there? Isn't that their export?
Oh, that's one of their exports. Yeah, hot women. Yeah, they do make hot women. I'll give them that. Their genetics are fucking. Their
Yeah, human
genetics.
trafficking.
I mean,
is
the
one of their
boys
big
aren't too.
exports.
The men, not the boys. The men aren't that bad looking either. So.
Ukrainian adults are pretty hot. I mean, and that's probably why they plan to have that fucking orgy if a bomb was coming. I don't know how many people. It was like either tens of thousands, over 100,000 people on that reservation list to have that orgy outside of Kyiv. I'm gonna call it Kiev because it'll always be a Kiev to me. But yeah, they must be pretty fucking hot. Oh, fuck, whatever. Why you guys got me talking about orgies in the Ukraine?
Oh,
Sick.
I'm so sorry because my mind was going to, well, I don't understand. I just don't understand. So, and is it racist that we're sending money there? Because aren't they predominantly white European people?
I'm gonna play
I don't
along.
know.
I'm gonna
I'm
play
just
along with what you just said and
Their
say
army's full of
absolutely racist.
neo-Nazis, so yes, it's very
It's
racist.
highly racist.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, and then
Sorry.
we've got the
Oh.
Azov battalion over there too. So yeah, it's pretty fucking racist, I must say.
So really, the only thing I know about Ukraine is the one chick from 90 Day, whatever. She's from the Ukraine. I can't remember her name. The blonde chick.
Callie.
She's just never-
For real,
She's
you're
never
gonna
happy.
like reference 90 Day Fiance? Really? This is your source? God. All right.
I know nothing. I
Go
really
ahead,
know
speak up,
nothing. I know
Callie.
nothing about Russia. I know nothing about Ukraine. I know they're in Europe. I know Putin. I don't know. I know nothing.
Well,
I know nothing.
Okay. Well, let's see what's going on in CNN because if Brazil like kicked off, let's see. I don't see a fucking here. Let me do a keyword search for Brazil. Oh, we have one. Brazil, there's one on this whole entire CNN site. There's one mention of Brazil, and it's a fucking leaders show Trump there can be political next acts. Okay, fine. Let's see what CNN is talking about when it like, oh my gosh. What in the hell? The comeback that failed? Oh, there's this guy. He's another World Economics Forum person who's like currently took over Boris Johnson's position, which was taken over by that one chick who only lasted about like I think it was like not even 30 days. I think she was like 26 days in office and then she yeeted. And then this asshole came in from the World Economics Forum. And now Rishi Sunak is sitting there as the prime minister of fucking Brexit or Britain or whatever the fuck it is. And then let's see. What is this? I mean, this is the only thing CNN is talking about in Brazil. In Brazil and Israel, leaders show Trump there can be political next acts. It's an analysis by Stephen Collinson. Let me look at Stephen Collinson just for a fucking hot minute here. Oh, let me look at your bio. Where is it? Reporter at CNN Politics covering the White House and politics across the United States and around the world. a campaign. Okay, so he's a campaign expert. All right, so he's got a big ass bias. Collinson has covered 5 U.S. presidential elections. He specializes in deeply reported pieces, pulling on a wealth of expertise after covering the White House, Congress, and foreign policy for the Agence France Presse in 17 years prior to joining. Oh my gosh. So what is the Agency France Presse? That is like, it's probably a newspaper out there in fucking France. Let me go and like look. A native of the United Kingdom, Collinson has traveled the world and filled in for more than 50 countries. He has lived in Switzerland, Hong Kong, Thailand, and Canada. Well, Switzerland should be a big ass red flag considering what goes on in Switzerland. And Hong Kong, well, that's China. Let's see. Yeah, that's my bias.
That's a little
Okay.
CCP there. Huh?
A little CCP, yeah. Okay, so what is this? Agency, okay, so let's see. The Wikipedia says that the Agence France Presse, where's MBB? He could say this much better than I could, is a French international news agency headquartered in Paris, France, followed in 1835 as Havas. And Havas was a national advertising. I mean, if we're going to talk about history and Adidas and Nazis and everything else, might as well as go into like where the fuck this whole thing came from. It's a multinational advertising. Keep that in mind. And public relations company. It's got a bias. It's called propaganda. When you see public relations, when you see advertising, let me tell you what that means. It means propaganda. All right, headquartered in France, Paris, France. It operates in more than 100 countries and is one of the largest advertising and communication groups in the world. Havas consists of 3 main operational divisions. Just giving you a little history on what this dude might be about, who is currently writing this one article related to Brazil, featured today in CNN. How did I do? Okay. I don't expect
You did
anyone
great.
to...
I'm still clueless, but
I'm just saying that instead of talking about what's really in Brazil, they hired a propagandist named Stephen Collinson to go and write a shit article that has nothing to do with current events, really, because what they're doing is they're just promoting more TDS.
yeah, it's terrible.
It's like, why leaders show Trump there can be... Why? Trump isn't in office right now. So why the hell would they go and make an article under CNN Politics talking about something they can show Trump when Trump isn't our... I mean, it's like, I hate to say
That's all
it.
they care about, though. All the Republicans are being, like, they say terrible things about him, whether it's true or not. I don't know, but that's all their campaigning is this year, is saying terrible things about people.
It's
you got to throw up Orange Man for that 2 minutes of hate.
Well, it's not working.
Yeah.
For me.
Finkelstein bad. Boo.
I mean, do they not realize that it's like you can only beat a dead horse so much before you reach the soil, and then after you beat through its rib cage and you've got all this horse's guts all spraying all over the place, and you've hit the soil, and now you're hitting rocks, and now, oh shit, we can't use TDS anymore. Let's go and, like we're seeing right here in the chat, let's go and fucking brain Paul Pelosi, and let's have some sort of distraction about, Miss, I show my jugs and my eyes are as deep as black holes, and I can't fucking put my eyebrows on correctly. Let's throw this circus clown out there. Like I should talk. Let's throw this circus clown out into the mix with her maybe gay, maybe a little kinky husband, and let's get the population to like, look at that. Look over there. It's like, where's that one bitch drag queen? Hold on. Let me look at that drag queen one moment. Let me pull up that drag queen. Look over
Okay, I'm digging on Brazil, and on BitChute, there's a video that says Brazil as military is welcomed by the people in Rio de Janeiro, and all the titles are about them blocking the roads and the people and showing mass groups of people protesting.
Well, you know what? Let me go over to Brazil, because fuck looking at drag queens going, look over there. Let's go and see like what's happening in the news.
Gotta watch them drag queens.
I just typed in. I just went to BitChute and typed in Brazil and hit new and pulled up the newest ones.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Let's see. This is from November 2nd. That is today at 6:35 a.m. I do not know which time zone. It says Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. I think it's Jair. I am sorry. I don't speak Portuguese. Anyway, repeatedly told members of the country's Supreme Court Tuesday night that his. Wait a minute. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. So last night was Tuesday. Okay, good. That his election battle against leftist
Ivan
rival.
speaks Portuguese.
Ivan? Well, is Ivan here? No. Ugh,
Mm.
space pirate. Okay. Rival Luis Inácio Lula da Silva has come to an end, marking one step closer to a concession after his defeat in October 30th. All right. So let's see where this goes. I mean, shit. It's like we're talking about, like, what? We're going to go to war with Brazil with all their resources. I mean, are you guys familiar with the resources located in Brazil and the surrounding area? Are you guys aware of, like, what South American exports are? South American exports. Like, what do they do? Top. Okay, let's see. Top South American exports. Let's see, in Brazil. Okay, there's their. Okay, so they do
Gold.
two
Is gold
hundred
in
eighty
there?
billion 814,577,000 just in exports, but that's in dollars. I wanted to see their actual. Let's see, what does it say on here? The
They've
value
got
of
a lot of oil there.
the most valuable exports of Brazil: iron ore and concentrates, soybeans. Oh, good God. That's a pretty, during a food crisis and trying to get a bunch of people to either eat bugs or vegetable matter. Fucking A, yeah, soybeans, crude petroleum oil. I think they're the 12th largest manufacturer of, or supplier of crude oil in the world. So that makes them a target. And also sugar, because, sugar is so fucking healthy and addictive, and it has to be put into everything to keep the masses, you know, feeling moderately okay. If we didn't, I mean, shit, just remove sugar from the diet of the everyday person. You'll have enough sugar in your fruits and vegetables to keep you going. No one needs extra sugar. We'd be a hell of a lot healthier without sugar, let me guarantee it to you. Oh,
Yep.
but yeah, that's
Yep.
what we
Yep.
got
Yep.
coming out. This is what is going on. We are looking at the resources of a country, and it's not about the people. It's not about, you know, it has nothing to do with people. And the commercials which are currently being run to, like, oh, these people are starving. Oh, these people are, like, in a bad way. Send them your money. Send them your money. Send them your money. That money is never going to get to those people. It's like we were trying to. Oh God, when I was younger, save Ethiopia, save, donate to UNICEF. Oh, we're going to save all these people. Historically, that money never got to them. They threw up, like, these images and these videos of, like, oh, we're spreading education in these, like, in these third world countries and everything like that. Well, you know what? It's been like over 30 years and they're no better off. As a matter of fact, they've gotten worse in a lot of these places. It's like that's why we have, like, that's why we continue to have this migrant crisis. This is why we continue to have refugee crises. This is why we continue to have these wars, is because nothing got better. Because when people were dropping their money into those UNICEF boxes, they got that little dopamine hit, which made them think that they were actually doing something. And so they never had to look at what was actually going on because they thought they already did their part. So once you do your part, it's like, oh, I did my part. There's nothing more for me required because all I was told to do was send money. Therefore, I can turn my sight, I can turn my vision away from the reality of what is going on and ignore it because I've done my part, and that's how that works. Okay.
We were groomed. First, it was give a penny, then it was a march of dimes. Now it's give $1 billion and just turn and look away.
Yeah. All right, let me go back through the chats quickly because I have missed a lot. You guys have been busy. You guys have been busy posting a lot of memes and stuff. I don't see any large font. I don't see anyone calling out TRT. I don't see anyone immediately going, hey, tranny, or anything like that. So, I don't think anyone was trying to get my attention. Guys, savages, I hope you have enjoyed today's short format show. As you know, 45.1 is coming up next. I will read these chats after the show. You guys typically have very interesting things to say, mainly between yourselves. But every once in a while, I do look at your chats and I see things that are topics which I'm like, oh shit, I should cover that. So, your chat is valuable to me. I love you. All right, let's see. Without getting too smaltzy and everything, let's move back on over to Odysee. Let me check the time. We've got 8 minutes left. Let's see. Let's do about, let's give ourselves about like 3 minutes to get out anything else. Does anyone in the Jitsi, and then there's a 10-second delay on the Odysee chat, does anyone have a topic they want a reaction or response or an opinion on at this time?
I was going to say go ahead and finish off with your little tranny thing you were going to do before I brought up the Brazil thing.
Oh, you mean the drag queen saying, look over there? Is that the thing you were talking about?
That might have been it.
Well, okay, that might have been it. I don't know if that was it or not.
I
Oh my gosh,
I was
DJ Brandrack
typing
was
while you were
here?
talking about it.
I'm sorry, what?
I was typing while you were talking, and I just caught the tail end of it. And you're like, okay, we'll put this away.
Oh, I was gonna show this like crazy ass drag queen acts truth shows whenever like there's
I
distraction.
love that.
He'll clip to this drag here. Maybe I can see it. We have like a moment, guys.
His pink hair.
No, it's here. Look over
No.
there.
Do you
Look
see
over
Nancy's
there.
hammer?
What?
You see Nancy's hammer on Salty's little gift?
Oh yeah, the pink
On
hammer.
Salty's gift?
Oh,
Yeah.
can you imagine? Is it Jada Hall? Here we go.
That's one of those ones from Etsy.
Heidi, question?
That one.
Jada, same question.
Heidi, question?
What?
Look over there!
Where? She keeps fooling me with that look over there business.
That's exactly
I
what's
love
going
that.
on. And consider the current administration we have is just a bunch of fucking drag queens and trannies running around saying, "Look over there, look over there." It's like, don't look at what's going on over here. But you know, it's like keep on. It's called confusion. It's fucking confusion. So
Yep.
so try not to be confused or anything like that. I'm sure a lot of you guys are not
Don't
confused.
look at the boy package.
Oh God,
over
let's not
there.
look at the boy package. Let's not look at the packages like that. Oh my gosh. You guys are pretty damn
But I
based.
got to every time I pee.
Well, that's your package. That's not someone else's
Yeah.
package. And no one else is looking at your
Your
package.
personal business is your personal business as long as you're doing it in your personal space.
Yes. So let me check the time right
Oh
here.
yeah, I only let my grandson go in the backyard.
My husband's taken to piss in the backyard too, and it's kind of like I'm like when the snow starts falling, dude, and you keep in mind that when the trees like lose their leaves, Cher across the field has binoculars, and if she's watching you pee, because she watches you when you mow the lawn, when you're out there
That
doing
cracks
yard
me
work,
up.
it's like Cher talks to me about how much she thinks my husband is very good looking and stuff like that, especially when he takes his shirt off. And I'm like, Cher, I realize you're a widow.
Back off.
It's like, back off, yeah. It's like, it's like that's the sound of, ammunition
Does she
being loaded.
not realize his orientation and preference?
He's bisexual, obviously. Hello! My husband's a fucking bisexual. Okay. Okay, so let's see. We are finishing up in like a little bit. We've got like 5 more minutes now. I'm just filling time.
So
Let's see. Oh,
you
Well, I
bringing
hope
that up
everyone has a
makes
great
me want to have a
day.
conversation about that sometime.
Callie, you have yourself a great day as well. God
I
bless.
will. I love y'all.
Kid Seville, what were you saying about a
Take it
conversation?
easy,
Seville?
Callie.
Thanks.
About that whole bisexual thing, I wanted to bring that up sometime and have a conversation about it because
You want to have that
my
during the
son
show
claims
or
that
outside of the show?
we can do it during pre-show if you want to.
Pre-show is fine. And what is the highlight topic as I'm closing out this show? Is it something about your son? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
You have questions. You have questions as a father about how to maneuver and navigate this, don't you?
kinda, but I'm trying to understand how it can work in his situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can talk about that in the pre-show. We can definitely talk about that in the pre-show. All right, let's
I
see.
don't mind making it public, but pre-show.
Well, pre-show might be good to give me a heads up so I'm not like caught off guard because the last thing that anyone needs is for me getting vapor locked in a recording that goes out and then I'm like, what the fuck? All right, anyway. So, here we go. As we wrap up, if you are new to this stream, please consider heading on over to Pastor Chatelet at any point. It's the pond in Kekistan. It's a predominantly friendly place where you can hang out, find Jesus. All right, over here, then we also have the Patriot Hangout. Now, the Patriot Hangout is sponsored and produced by Reverend Rand, also known as American Citizen, a very high energy Reverend who will probably deafen your ears a little bit. Please turn down your earbuds or your headphones before entering that room. You may get blasted. All right, coming up in, oh, let's see. Let me copy this one first. Coming up in one day, we have Caffeinated Keck with his new drop set. Caffeinated Keck produces some music I do enjoy playing during the pre-shows, along with other artists, such as some guy from Maine and King of Casual. There is another one I forget. Oh, and DJ Brandract, of course. Oh, and DJ Based, when DJ Based puts one out. But yes, in 6 hours we have the American Rant Show featuring Reverend Rant. So that's coming up. But now, the one I like to promote after my show is 45-1 Actual's Big Dick Energy Brigade radio show. So let's head on over to his show right now, and we will see you there. Savages, God bless. Have a fucking awesome Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.
God bless y'all. Be safe. Have a wonderful day, y'all.
All right, God bless. We will see you later.